Hey guys, so in this video I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the concept of masking. So if you've taken Graphics 1, you know what a mask is. You know it's basically a smart eraser. But what you may not know is some tricks of the trade to really go ahead and make our images work out really nice with masks. So let's go ahead and grab some images. So I'm going to go to the internet again. I think I'm going to work on Flickr. I think I'm going to go ahead and do Unsplash and get maybe a tiger. See what I can find. Ooh, that's some nice tiger images. I like that one. He's sleeping tiger. This one is like, hello, how are you? Let's download that one. So let's bring this right into Photoshop. So we have we have lions, and we have tigers and camels. Oh my. So anyway, see how we have this image of this lion, and it's a really strong image, and how it's all dark, and it brings it right into the lion, and the lion stands out. It's super contrasty. Well, we can make selections around our tiger, and we can obviously do that sort of stuff too. But what we could do to the tiger as well is we can kind of do this in a quick way. And we can do it in a quick way utilizing a mask and a gradient. So just so we're clear on what these things are, I'm going to need my layer palette open. I'm going to basically close all this other crap, and I need my tools available. And let's talk about gradients. They live on the toolbar, and they are with the paint bucket tool and the 3D material drop tool, and there's the gradient tool. And Photoshop's got a ton of gradients, and if you tap the letter D as in dog on your keyboard, then you'll get your default color gradients, which are going to be black and white. And then there's all these other kind of default gradients they have, like green and red, orange and blue, red, blue, and yellow, so primary colors, and then a bunch of other ones, right, that are kind of really disgusting looking, which is fine. For masks, we tend to use the black to white a lot because, again, let's talk about masks, okay? I'm going to throw a mask on, and to do that, again, that icon is on your layer palette. It is from the left. It's the third from the left, or from the trash can from the right. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the right. So, and it's the little box with the dark circle in the middle. And the mask essentially lets me go ahead and take a paintbrush and go ahead and paint with black to take away, or what we'd say conceal, take away, like an eraser. Okay, that's what black does. And then if I go ahead and I paint with white, check it out. I put it back. So we always use the joke, black conceals, white reveals. So how do we use it? Well, how we use it with a gradient. So check this out. It's all about layering. So I'm going to start here with my tiger, layer 0. I'm just going to go ahead and call it tiger. Okay. I'd call it Tigger, but that's copyright infringement. That's a joke. And I will make a new layer. And in this new layer, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fill it with black. And then I did that with Option Delete, or on a PC, Alt Delete, because it was my foreground color. Now, if I go ahead and I toss a mask on here, right, and I paint in black, there's our tiger, and it's coming through. And just an effect like that actually could be kind of cool if done correctly. Like if I use the right kind of brush. Oh, like kind of like this mop brush, right? This could kind of be sort of cool. And you know as well as I do that you've seen something like that before, right? Something as simple as that, where basically there's just a black background, and it's in front of another image, and it's kind of painted away in kind of a haphazard way, right? And if I had like a tablet, I could probably even do it a little bit better, but this is just a thing that we have, right? So check this out. If I go ahead and I have a gradient selected, I have all sorts of gradients up here. I have your traditional linear gradient. I have your radial gradient. I have a angle gradient, also known as a, which actually isn't worth much of anything. I have a reflected gradient or a mirrored gradient. Then I have a diamond gradient, also which isn't worth much of anything. So your linear gradients, your radial gradients, and your reflected gradients are probably going to be the ones that are going to be the most useful. Now, so take a look at this little picture here, right? So what we have is we have a radial gradient, and just so we're aware, I'll make one more kind of layer just to draw a gradient on here, right? And this is what a radial gradient will do. See, it puts the foreground color in the inside, and the outside is going to be the white, right? That's going to be the background color, right? Now, if I wanted to, I can check this little button up here that says reverse, and I can do the same thing. Pull it out, and now the background color is in the middle, and the foreground color is out there on the edge, right? It's because I reversed it. Okay, so same thing, right? It's just one's reversed and one's not. So that's what that thing does, right? Okay, so again, black takes things away, white puts them back, or in this case, leaves them, right? So let's take a look at the mask, right? See the mask here? It's all one white box. So if I go ahead and I click on this mask and I have this gradient tool selected, and where's that tiger live? Right about there in the center, right? If I go ahead and I click right about where that tiger's head is, I click and I pull out, watch what happens. Look at that. Did I do any real work? The answer is no, I didn't. I did mess up one itty bitty thing there, though, I think. Yeah, I accidentally cut part of that tiger out by accident, but okay, it's not the end of the world. But yeah, check that out. See how easy that was? And see how dramatic that looks now? Whoa. Okay, what else could I do to this now? Well, I can take my opacity and I can bring it down a little bit. And now it's like I've gone ahead and I shined a spotlight on that tiger. All right, let's do it again, because I know that sometimes we do this stuff and people are like, how'd you do that? So I'll make a new layer, color it black, right? Option, delete, Alt, delete on a PC. I'm going to turn on my layer mask. Now I'm going to come to my gradient. I just want a black to white gradient, no reverse. I'm going to find right about that center point where that tiger lives, and I'm going to click and I'm going to pull. And it just makes a little gradient right there. It's simple, it's easy. It's not a tremendous feat, but actually it does quite a bit. Let's think about tigers, and let's think about forests. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and go back a little bit here, and not so far back. I'm gonna go back to Unsplash. I'm gonna say bamboo forest. And I don't want a tiger in a bamboo forest. Yeah, I kind of do, actually. Nothing. What if I just say bamboo? Nothing. What if I just say forest? All sorts of stuff. Okay, cool. What if I say jungle? Yeah, that's better. That's an angry lion. He's not in the jungle. That's why he's so pissed. Okay. How about this? That's a cool image. All right. Download. Drag that right into Photoshop. All right. Now, this is a cool image, right? It feels like a jungle. It's totally not a jungle. This is like a walkway. That's a bench, right? That's a tree. That might be a pole right there, but it's got the right feel. I remember I was in the Smithsonian once, and this kind of looks like one of the buildings they had with the botanical gardens. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this image, I'm going to drag it over here to my tiger image. I'm going to drop it right on there, right? Check this out. I'm going to do the same thing as I did with the black background, except I'm going to do it on an image. I'm going to put a mask on here, and I'm going to go ahead and take the gradient tool, And I'm just going to go like this. Doop. Look at that. That tiger's right there in the middle of that jungle, right? Let's try it again. Whoa. And here's the thing. I move the gradient out a little bit. The tiger just comes out a little bit. I click and drag it more. We get more of the tiger there. He's darker, right? You see him coming through a little bit more. What if I went ahead and I put that black in between? Ooh, could that work? Quite a bit. What if I did that and then I took the opacity down this? Hey, look at that. Now we're starting to cook with some gas, right? So this is just masks. These are ways we blend things together, right? And it's a real simple kind of thing that we do. Let's go and do it with another one. Let's take Mufasa here, okay? And let's toss a black background on top of him. And let's take our linear gradient and let's go ahead and let's just drag it from the top to here. Oops. Let's put a mask on first. There we go. And you see when I did that, let's go back to before I had the mask. And let's take the linear gradient and drag it right up. All right, so black's on the bottom. So that's the part that's going to show. And white's on top. That's the part that's not going to show. Okay, so I kind of want it black. I kind of want it to not show on the bottom, and I want it to fade up so I can see the line. So in this case, I'm going to reverse it, okay? Fill it with black again. Put this on here, and then watch. Pull it right on up, and there we go. The way gradients work is this. I'm going to put a guide on here, right? A couple guides, right? So where I begin to click right here, right, this spot right here, everything at that point and before it, so anything below it in this case, right, is going to be completely hidden. And then if I stop it at this other point, everything past that point, so everything above that point, completely there. And then this area right here, where my mouse is moving, this is where that shift of color will be from where it's completely hidden to where you can kind of see it. And there you are. And you end up having this kind of soft kind of flow right into the top of the lion's mane there, rather than it being kind of hard edge there. So it's a nice and easy way to kind of blend things really easy. Can you have two masks? Yeah, you can. So can I do another mask? The answer is I can. So I can go ahead and have a mask going in this direction, and I can have a mask going in that direction. But I have to be careful, because when I do that, right, what it ends up doing is not working out to my advantage. Oops. Mainly because that second mask, it selects both of them. This second mask is what we call a vector mask. This one is what we call a layer mask. A layer mask works with brushes, right? A vector mask works with vectors. So a vector mask will only work with like this box right here. That's it. And it's only if it's going to work if there's going to be a dark fill on it. And actually I even screwed that up. So a vector mask, let's try that one more time, will only work with an actual object. And I have to actually make the object there. So honestly, I don't even use those. If I wanted to have two masks, like if I wanted to have a mask on the bottom of this thing and the top, I would just do two layers. One with black going up and down, and one black going left and right. Oops. And then that would go ahead, and this one here would take care of what's happening there. This one here would take care of what's happening there. Here's the beauty too. You can always go ahead and select your mask, and you can take your move tool and you can move them up and down, because all you're doing is just moving around some objects, right? So you can do that, and it's easy to do. All right, these guys telling a joke again, right? Can we blend maybe the tiger, and I don't know, how about the lion together? Yeah, you can. It's like, imagine like a billboard for like a zoo or something like that, right? So let's make a new document. How big is our lion friend here? It is, pretty big. Okay. 40 inches tall, 29 inches or 59 inches high. What if I went ahead and made it 300? It's about 10 inches tall. Okay. So let's do that. So let's make a new document. We'll say that we got about 10 inches in height. How about by about 20 inches, 24 inches? I'm thinking of billboard size, right? And I'll make it an Adobe RGB and say okay. And let's find my lion first. Say okay to that. There we go. Let's find my tiger. Say okay to that. All right, cool. So lion and the tiger, right? Nice. Well, what we want to do is we want to basically stack them on top of one another. What we're not looking to do is we are not looking to put them completely side by side like this. We're looking to have kind of a spot where they kind of meet, sort of like this. So if I go ahead and I were to take the opacity down of my lion, you would see that this area right here, which I'm going to go ahead and paint pink, right? This area here is where the two places meet, or excuse me, where the two images overlap. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and we want to make that mask happen right around there. I'm going to take both of these images and just make it a little bigger, just so they fill the height. And that's actually going to give me even a little bit more to work with. So I can take my tiger and I can bring it over a little bit more. Take my lion, bring that in a little bit more, right? And again, I don't do this very often. I won't lie. I don't do this unless I'm teaching. But I will toss a line up here, just a guide, right here. And this guide is going to show me exactly where I should throw my mask, right? This is going to let me know where the tiger image ends, and this one here lets me know where the lion image ends. And you just pick one. It doesn't matter which one you pick. If I pick the tiger, I can blend that into the lion, right? If I pick the lion, I can blend that into the tiger. I'm going to use the lion and blend that one because it's all black here. There's nothing here, right? There's nothing really crazy going on here either. It's just like a big rock or something. But whatever, it's just going to be easiest because it's black. So I'll turn the lion on, and I'll turn on the mask. And essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click right over here on the gradient tool. And I want this gradient here, this linear gradient. And let's see. This is going to tell us what it's going to do, right? So black conceals, white reveals. So we want white on the right side and black on the left side. So we're going to just go ahead. And I don't want to go before the line. Okay, I don't want to do that. I want all this part of the line to stay. So I got to be on this side of the line. Okay, and I got to be careful. I don't want to go past this line, or else you're going to see like a funky line. Oops, I reversed it I didn't reverse it. So anyway, so I'm just going to pull this. I don't want to go past here because if I do, then what will end up happening is you're going to notice this line right here. See? And in the same token, I don't want to start on this side and go over, because what you'll end up seeing is this line right here. We want to hide that line and we want to hide the other line. So what I want to do is I want to find a spot in between them. So I'll just click here. I'll go to here, just like that. And now, check it out. Look at that blend. That's a seamless blend right there, right? And you see that all the time in advertising. All the time. All we need to do now is just throw some text right here that says something like, I don't know, the Bronx Zoo, and, like big cat collection, or, something along those lines, or like the cats of the city, and a date, and bam, you have a billboard, right? It's that simple. It's not hard to use masks effectively in Photoshop, and we do it all of the time. Again, let's come to our guys here telling the joke, right? So if you want to go ahead and you want to maybe like hide like this part, maybe like this part here, again, new layer, let's make it black, let's toss a mask on it, and let's just go ahead and click and drag up, and that's it. Why would we do that? Well, let's go ahead and let's say, let's just make a layer here, and let's put some text and just say, let's see, did you hear about the one with the camel? It's a bad camel joke, that's all. So if I throw this on here, visually it's unappealing because we have this rope, right? And it's just black, So what if I went ahead and I'll go ahead and go to my character panel. Let's make it, I don't know, white. How about that? And yeah, look at that. That's kind of unappealing too, because again, the rope, and now it's kind of bright and might be hard to see. Well, check this out. If I have this gradient on here, that rope is hidden. And I can just turn this on. And here you go. That's that simple. If you think that this is too black, and it very well might be, take your opacity down. I don't know, 75%, somewhere around there. Again, that's all faded out. Just makes that so much more legible, so much more readable, right? It's a simple thing. And believe it or not, this is done on so many pictures. You just don't recognize it. Actually, you might recognize it, but you don't realize how easy it is to do it sometimes. And it's a mask, and it's done with a gradient. And this is one of the most useful things that you can take away from this class, how to do this in Photoshop, because you can literally do it every day if you wanted to. When I think of like top 5 or 10 things I do in Photoshop, this is in there. It's close to the top. I do it all the time because again, it's easy, and it makes for light lifting. It makes for very little work. When I go back to the tiger here, just that alone, right? The ability to just go ahead and slap that on there, and then go ahead and then play around with like a little bit of opacity, or let's do some things that we know. Let's bring in like a blending mode or something like that, right? Play around with that, and you'll find that it works out really, really well. It's kind of cool. That's a saturation one, makes it that kind of black and white. Dissolve doesn't work. I wonder though if I went ahead and I did the jungle scene and I did a blending mode on the black. Kind of cool. Really cool. That's color dodge. Hard light, vivid light, linear light. Divide gives us some weird like predator looking stuff. Yeah, kind of like the color dodge. And then, after that, play around with things like opacities, and you'll find some real cool things that you can find here. So yeah, blending with layer masks, really useful, specifically layer masks using gradients. And you'll find that you can take this skill and use it in tons and tons of stuff. So enjoy.